Generational wealth isn't just about making money, it's about making sure the government, creditors, and bad luck can't take it all back. And if you think a savings account and a will are enough to protect what you're building, we need to have a very serious conversation. The moment you start accumulating real wealth, you become a target not from villains in ski masks, but from something far more insidious. A system of legal erosion that quietly chips away at everything you've worked for. We're talking income taxes, capital gains taxes, property taxes, and estate taxes. 4 slow leaks in a boat you didn't even know was sinking. Think of it like this. You spend decades filling a bathtub with water, but nobody told you the drain was open the whole time. That's what building wealth without structure looks like. Exhausting, disciplined, and ultimately incomplete. Now, here's where most people get it wrong. They assume this is a rich person's problem, something for billionaires with offshore accounts and fancy lawyers on retainer. But the truth is, the middle class gets hit hardest by wealth erosion because they're building just enough to lose significantly without knowing enough to protect it. So what's the answer? It starts with something that sounds intimidating, but is actually one of the most powerful legal tools ever created for everyday families: the irrevocable trust. Unlike its cousin, the revocable trust, which the IRS still considers yours, an irrevocable trust legally removes assets from your taxable estate, putting them in a structure designed to outlive, outmaneuver, and outlast every erosion attack coming your way. But here's the part nobody tells you at the kitchen table. One trust alone is like showing up to chess with only a queen. The real strategy is layering, holding companies that own assets, operating companies that generate income, family limited partnerships that consolidate control, and special purpose entities that compartmentalize risk, like watertight compartments on a ship. History is full of people who made fortunes and died broke not because they stopped working, but because they never stopped being exposed. The Vanderbilts, once the wealthiest family in America, held a reunion in 1973, and not a single attendee was a millionaire 100 years after Cornelius built an empire worth $200 billion in today's money. Let that sink in. $200 billion gone in 3 generations. Because structure was an afterthought, and taxes, lawsuits, and bad inheritance planning were not. That's not a cautionary tale. That's a blueprint of what not to do, handed to us for free. Now, the cynics in the room will say this sounds like something only shady people do to hide money, and that's exactly the misconception we need to dismantle right now. These structures aren't loopholes. They're the same legal frameworks that every major institution, university endowment, and multi-generational family office uses openly and legally every single day. The practical lesson here is simple. Structure first, growth second, not the other way around. You wouldn't build a skyscraper and then pour the foundation, so stop accumulating wealth without the legal architecture underneath it to hold it up. And yes, this takes patience. Setting up a real wealth matrix of trusts, entities, and partnerships isn't a weekend project. It's a strategy you build deliberately, piece by piece, with discipline and the right guidance. But the families who do it don't just preserve wealth, they compound it, because protected dollars have the freedom to grow without constant interruption from the taxman. Here's the philosophical truth underneath all of it. Wealth isn't just money. It's time. Time that you give your children, your grandchildren, and their children by making decisions today that they'll benefit from decades from now. The most generous thing you can do for the people you love isn't leaving them a lump sum, it's leaving them a system. So stop thinking about generational wealth as an account balance and start thinking about it as infrastructure, legal, intentional, and built to last longer than any single market cycle, political administration, or economic storm. The families who thrive across generations aren't luckier, they're more structured. Discipline, sizing, and consistency aren't just investing principles, they're the foundation of everything, whether you're managing a portfolio, a property, or a legacy. And the beautiful irony is that the most powerful moves in wealth preservation aren't dramatic, they're quiet, boring, and devastatingly effective. Whether you're just getting started or ready to take your structure to the next level, we can help you with real estate investing, home contracting work, and finding the right lenders. Check out the links in the description below.